Please rise and we'll recite the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We were all sent the minutes of our prior meeting electronically. What are your wishes?
Move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Jeff,
The first on the agenda is to approve a FEMA community acknowledgement form for the property located, there's 3 parcels up there located at 17945 Grundy Road. Of those 3 lots, it was a subdivision from before my time. So, not very long. They're building up the ground, which is in the 100-year flood zone, to build a house there. And so part of getting a letter of map revision through FEMA so that they can put it there, they are working towards that. So this is a letter saying, hey, as the floodplain manager, it's not gonna, there's no real determinations or effects. So I'm saying that we should approve this letter of map revision so that they can do that.
okay. Is there someone that's willing to make that motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any questions or discussion? So they're basically allowing them to go forward with this process that allows that to be a buildable lot.
Yes,
Okay.
through the DNR, because our rules are not any less restrictive than the DNR's.
Okay.
rules.
Okay,
Number 2.
wait a minute, we haven't voted yet.
Sorry.
No problem. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Sorry, Chair.
Number 2, award project LFM CO 38 parent T65 /7X-38 Pioneer Road to PCI. Last week we opened up the bids. We went through, totaled up the numbers. PCI was the lowest bidder at $4,962,573.87.
And this goes. All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Department matters. Today is the first day where all the guys are reporting to their winter route sheds. So we're gonna start, you guys are gonna start seeing us doing some dragging and getting out on the road. Next week, we're anticipating we're gonna start going through dust controls. So I know we're past the time of when we typically tear them up. But next week, we can't go much longer before we have to get the road start prepping the winter. And then on the bridge up by Heidi, what'd you call it?
We are just bridge.
We are this
Yeah.
bridge. I'm gonna remember that someday. All the pile have been driven. We are this bridge.
I know, I don't, and you'll say street names and I won't know where you're at, but we'll learn to communicate.
Where your heart is, bridge, right? We
We are yeah, who lives near it.
That's a last name of
Yeah,
Okay.
the guy
people.
who lives,
Yeah,
they live far near there, so. That's how we are.
WIARDA.
How many job applications did you get in?
They are due at 3 o'clock today. I have not I know I have more than 3.
Okay.
Have not really looked at any of them yet, just wait until 3 o'clock to close that file and then we will start going through that process. We are anticipating starting to schedule interviews this week. If not this week, we will, if we can get them in late this week, maybe early next week for interviews.
Anything else for us this morning?
That is everything on mine.
Okay, any questions of Jeff? Anyone present? Okay, thank you very much.
Second.
Review resolution 2024-19R to sever property from city of Rhinebeck and possible action. And we've received information and drawings and all kinds of stuff on this. It sounds like it was an inadvertent mistake in the first place, that property was included in the prior action, so all parties. Yeah, so all parties there's no controversy associated with it. It's just a record keeping thing, it sounds like, more than anything, so. Okay.
I'll move to introduce that resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion or questions?
I guess my question is why are we talking about this? It's between city of Rhinebeck, isn't it? What,
Yeah, but they're severing it from the city to the county.
They're
oh.
changing it from its
Okay.
jurisdiction,
It was from the, okay.
It was inadvertently.
included into the city limits.
They have to accept,
Right.
okay. Good, thank you.
Mhm. Anything else? Ellen, could you call the roll?
Mark,
Yes.
Vic,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Heidi,
Yes.
and Barb.
Yes. Okay, review courthouse facility use agreement and possible action. We are privy to this document, which has been in force for some time. I didn't originate this on the agenda. I don't know who did and if they have some issues, and it's always good.
Pertaining to one event, or what's it pertaining to?
It's pertaining to the use of the courthouse for that event that the city, that was requested by the chamber for the use of the courthouse for taking pictures with Santa.
Mhm.
So it included some more information about possibility that they would need to pay for cleaning services.
It's an updated
Yeah, it's an
agreement,
updated agreement for use for indoors specifically.
Mhm.
not the courthouse grounds, but the
Mhm.
inside of the courthouse.
And it deals with individual use and group use.
Yes.
And the group use has some more requirements, shall I say, than
So it's
individual use.
Clarification, it's for this event only, correct?
No, I think
Going
it's just
forward.
reviewing this courthouse facility document to make it sure it's still germane.
It's a little bit more, they added a lot more to it as far as needing
Who is the-
liability coverage. That was drawn by Erica.
Okay, but this has been enforced for several years.
The regular use of courthouse grounds this is kind of a new document. 'Cause
Oh,
it's use
so
of
who
courthouse.
requested that?
When
She came in when we were talking.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember we asked her if she could, okay, so this would be, we're promulgating a new document.
a new document for
Okay.
the use of the
Okay.
inside of the courthouse.
Okay, sure, okay. All right,
I had asked some other counties, and I think quite a few of them have
something
separate
similar.
agreements, or if they allow use of the inside of the courthouse. Some do not allow use. I know one of them sent me their policy. It was 14 pages long. So that was a little bit more detailed, but I think a lot of the main facts are in this one.
So, what are your comments or wishes, assuming you read this through prior to the meeting thoroughly as I did? I guess, the one thing that I think might be burdensome is the size of the liability insurance policy, that they're requiring $1 million coverage. I don't know, but
City standard also. From that, like I said, from the replies that I
Okay,
received back.
so you
from
have some-
About half a dozen counties.
okay, yeah, and I
did.
yeah,
And I mean, I'm sure most organizations that are having an event probably have something like.
oh,
that.
sure, I know they take out an additional and separate policy every year, I believe, for Felix Grundy Festival because of the nature of that event.
Erica reviewed our current policy. And made some additions to that policy is what happened here, correct?
Yes. That is correct.
I think I would be assuming that, yeah, after the last meeting that we had concerning use of the courthouse, I think she looked into it further, and that's what this came from.
Yes.
Okay. So do you want to further consider this and put it on next week's agenda? We just got this at 4 o'clock on Friday, so,
I'd like to talk about it next week.
okay. We can do some
Sure.
checking in the interim. I mean, it's not that time sensitive because the proposed use of the courthouse that was approved is not until Thanksgiving
Okay.
time, so, is that all right with you,
Yeah,
Alan?
that's fine.
Okay, all right, thank you. Updates on various board and committee meetings. I guess I'll share that one of the entities that is responsible to the public health department is the landfill. And so I have been the liaison from the landfill to the public health board because I attend the public health meetings. And so Preston came up last week about who was going to bring information from the closed landfill to the Board of Health. And we kind of worked it out that the landfill minutes will be provided to the public health department for dissemination to their board members. And if there's specific information that's needed or something new and different that transpires that the Board of Health members need to know about, that Chairman Greg Melcher is willing to share that information. Does that sound the way you understand it?
Correct.
And he has expressed willingness to do that, so I think that will be a seamless process. He's very dedicated to the landfill and the CCC, so we've got that worked out. So. Anything else come before us this morning? You've had a quiet week, Heidi?
I had a social services meeting, it was virtual due to there wasn't a lot on the agenda. Most of it is just along with the RFPs that they're filling out, have submitted, waiting on that. Yeah, everything there is kind of in limbo due to the changes being made, so.
Okay. That's good. All right. Travis, do you have anything for us? Katie?
Busy with audits and teaching and things like
Yeah.
that.
Are the audits going well as they usually do? Good.
And Jordan's doing amazing audits.
Oh, good.
Very.
That
happy.
takes quite a burden off your plate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's good.
The one thing I will say with bar bleeding is we would like to have Board of Supervisor attend our local Board of Health meetings. You've done a great job of doing that since I've been leading those meetings, so.
So the history behind that is when we had Unity Point at home, provided the lead person at Grundy County Public Health, and then they were in a bit of disarray and there wasn't a lead person and there were employees that were just kind of, I mean, they were doing their job to the best of their ability, but they didn't have a person leading them that had the credentials to do the services that were being provided at that time. And so I stepped in just to investigate what was going on, because I had some complaints, and, they finally filled the position and had someone in the position. But then on a December meeting, they announced that they would be dropping their services to Grundy County in a month. And so we pulled the original documents that governed their hiring and their duties, and they had to give us 6 months' notice, because there's too many things that needed to be worked out and unraveled, and so we worked with them to have a seamless, and logical transition, and we changed a lot of our protocols, because, we became a department that does mostly information and referrals rather than hands-on foot care and that sort of thing, which we really did not have the credentials for, and inoculations and things like that. So, basically, I think our department has transitioned to meet the needs that there are in Grundy County. We've gone the direction that many public health departments have. And we're doing our job cost effectively and taking care of the public. There's a good network of providers in our county that tag team with one another to meet the needs. And so that's kind of, am I expressing that correctly?
Yeah, it was a very complicated ordeal. So.
Yeah. So anyway, we worked through it. And so since I had gotten involved in it, I think I might have been chair at the time, and I took it upon myself to try to figure out what was going on across the street. But anyway, I just continued to go to the meetings, and then as it transitioned, I would do the reporting on the landfill, closed landfill as well. So I think it's always good to have insight into what's going on to our departments, and they're an important one for us. So
We would welcome anybody to continue representing.
and I'm not a voting member. I'm just there ex officially, just to have knowledge of what's going on in that
And to
department.
provide knowledge to our Board of Health members if they have any questions from the county level.
Okay. Anything else? Did you have anything? Okay. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Made it a little long day.